And there is a sense in which it makes sense to think, are we really still talking about this religion stuff? Obviously, religion as a topic is perennial. It has existed almost as long as mankind has been able to think. But the specifically new atheism, the specific new atheism style of religious debate and applying rhetoric and analytic philosophy and the whole science versus religion moment, I don't think that will ever quite go away in academia, but it being on your television screens, that's definitely, a thing of the past.
Okay, so I disagree, especially with the way religion and politics interact. It needs to be something that we talk about and keep relevant because it affects our life every day. I mean, I did just talk about living in the Bible Belt, but even if I take a step back from that, I live in, America, the good old US of A, and he is in the UK. And I think there's a little bit of a difference in what you experience daily. I had a similar thing when I lived in LA. There was a certain LA bubble, I call it, that I was in, where I was just around people who were accepting. And then you move to a place like this and you're like, oh, I see, we really do need to keep talking about this. You don't really understand how much it can affect other parts of the world or other people's lives when in your immediate vicinity things seem to not really matter all that much. Or are we really still talking about this where I'm living right now in my current day and fucking Trump being president? Yeah, it's really relevant. And you have to talk about it. Because even if the politicians themselves aren't super religious, I mean, Trump likes to lie about being religious, it certainly is something that is used as a manipulation tactic. And that lands us in a place of having to fight for equal rights, and women's rights, LGBT rights. It's never ending.
It feels, as I say, less like it's a movement. Separate the church and the state, and we're going to make people into atheists, and we're going to rid ourselves of magical thinking, and we're going to stop teaching, children ridiculous nonsense in schools. And it felt like this thing, and people would call themselves activists, and cool, that's great. But now when someone says that they're an atheist activist, I think, what does that really mean? What are you doing? Okay, there are certainly places in the world where atheist activists are still needed. In the UK, maybe you want to sort of get the Church of England out of the House of Lords. Fine, I agree with you, but it would hardly be the most important thing in the world to me right now.
Okay. A couple things here. It might not seem culturally relevant in the UK, but if you take a look over here in America, we're headed right towards Christian nationalism. It's a scary thing. And I think we need to keep religion at bay. That's all I'm going to say there.